Hello and welcome back to Second Take Movies podcast, where we give movies a second look, second chance, second take, if you will. I'm your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me as always, it's my co-host, Jake Twido.
Yeah, all right, baby.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I don't know if I like this movie after watching it again.
You do.
There's moments I like.
This movie is impregnable.
The logic of it kind of goes off the rails a little bit.
It's pretty much my dad's favorite movie.
Yeah, it's very much. It's a dad movie.
Yeah,
it's like a Reacher. It's a dad show. It's a dad movie.
Mm-hmm. It's got its points.
I don't know if I like Mark Wahlberg, actually.
That's the problem I have. Is Mark Wahlberg's just kind of this weird, like. I think about him in The Happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that does his whole career of. What do you think about that? Everybody, I'm whispering accidentally right now.
But the story, Shooter is the movie. That's the title of this episode, so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, Shooter!
A marksman living in exile is coerced. This says coaxed, but I assume they meant coerced back into action after coaxed. That's what they meant. I can't read. Coaxed back into action after hearing a plot to kill the president after being double-crossed for the attempt, and on the run, he sets out for the real killer and the truth.
So we already talked about Mark Wahlberg. I'm going to go ahead and tell you straight up. I haven't read this book. Mark Wahlberg's character is supposed to be old.
Didn't know this was a book.
Right for book. Clint Eastwood is supposed to play him. Robert Redford was, and Harrison Ford.
Oh, so this was one of those scripts that floated around forever.
Right. So all of them would have been closer to the actual age of the written character.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be a younger guy. It's supposed to be an old...
That makes sense. Yeah, they should have got an older guy.
A Vietnam guy is supposed to be the person here, not what they did. Which, I mean, they covered it well with having an African shootout in the 90s for swagger. Hey, you know what? I'm already too deep. Give me a positive narrative.
Positive.
Why did I say it?
I don't know.
Good.
But
everyone, just leave it. Let everyone know I'm weird. It's great.
The positive review from Village Voice: Shooter is a generically titled studio action picture that turns out to be a surprisingly deft satire about Americans' loss of faith in their government following the 2000 election, 9/11 attacks, and the ensuing wars in Afghanistan and Iraq.
I kind of agree with that, though. That's the one thing like this movie does kind of good, and it's kind of weird of in this time after the recent assassination attempt. This is kind of weird to watch. Oh, jeez.
Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal with our negative review. The result is lots of gunplay and explosions governed by little logic.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of get that.
Yeah,
kind of get that. I don't know.
Just like I said, it's like my first note that I wrote down was I just don't know if I'm a fan of Mark Wahlberg.
I don't think I am. I think he plays. There's some movies that he plays right.
Like him in the Departed was like great.
Money, but him is like actions. I don't know, dude. It's just there's a level of not authenticness. It's just
every time I hear him talk in real life, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. Hey, what are we gonna do about this?
And that just what you just impersonated right there is my second note. I can't understand what's being said half the time.
President's been shot right now. We gotta go out there and kill him.
But in this movie, it's not as high pitched. It's more of a little mumble. It sounds like this, and I'm explaining it real fast, so it makes it sound like I know what I'm doing.
I didn't shoot the president. I just didn't do it. I'm going away.
Shoot the president. And also, the conversation he has with Danny Glover, can't understand what Danny Glover's saying.
God dang, dude. Danny Glover, I'm going to go and say it. Hot take. Danny Glover sucks.
It's
going to happen. I'm Danny Glover.
It's like old... And, you know, it's not Danny Glover's fault. I mean, he's probably got, like, a strained voice or whatever because he's old. But it's... I just can't... I don't know.
Yeah, it was a turd performance on a lot of people, this entire thing.
This movie is about the action. Like, that's
Yeah, it's clever. I mean, like, yeah, it's good. I mean, like the beginning. So the movie starts off with a sniper and a spotter in Africa, Ethiopia, I think, to be exact. Guess what? It failed, and they got abandoned.
Got left behind.
And the spotter got killed by a helicopter, and the sniper apparently destroyed a helicopter. Rad in the movie there.
My thing is, you didn't want to pop out that 50 cal a little bit earlier on when the helicopter was approaching?
Dude, this was the first time I ever went, you had that 50 cal the whole time? Like,
yeah. Why didn't you just use that the whole time?
Big bang, boom, boom. Hey, you've been spotted. Big bang, boom, boom. Don't care.
Yeah,
Start boom, boom.
I'm not a sniper. So yeah, they get left behind, and his buddy dies, who we have spent no time with, but we're supposed to care about.
Oh, we're going to later when he starts tongue banging his girlfriend. 3 years later, Swagger's living on, I think, Wind River Range
in Wyoming. Which, honestly, as I get older, I'm like, yeah.
Dude,
put me in a cabin in the middle of Wyoming.
I have family that lives in Montana.
And
we went last year. I'm not kidding. That's the life. And like to this day, not just Montana. There's a small town in Maine called Lubeck. I've made so many offers on property and houses. It's perfect. Like I just want to go, especially like the Midwest, that area. Like, like live there, no one around, hang out with my dogs, shoot some daggum stew. This podcast is over, everybody. We're all moving out west. We're all gonna shoot stew.
But his fun time is interrupted by Danny Glover and two other guys. One of the guys played what's the hockey face guy in Ninja Turtles?
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, yeah, that guy that gets his hand shot off at the end played Casey Jones in the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Well, thought that was him. That guy's great, by the way.
Yeah,
he's a great villain.
He only great plays psychopath.
But Danny Glover needs him to plan the assassination of the president.
You gotta do a thing. I got there. Get out, the boys. Get out of stuff, man.
We need you to plan the assassination. We need you to plan the assassination.
I just love that Joe Biden was a major character of this entire movie. Sorry. Well, I mean, like it's crazy. This movie is so stupid. Like,
yeah,
it's smart. There are parts in this movie that are awesome. When you don't know the twist, it's cool. Then when you do, you're like, oh my god! Like you get this random dude in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I'm not sorry. Okay. I'm not saying anything about people in wheelchairs. I'm saying this diabolical dude in a wheelchair is making calls. Dead giveaway. Just.
Yeah.
But they're going to go talk to Swagger because.
What we think is that the president's going to get shot real quick. We're going to figure this all out.
Which I don't think that's the option you would use. Like, we have intel that the president is going to be assassinated. We need to find someone to plan the assassination. That doesn't ring alarm bells when they're asking you that.
Yeah, it should. I mean, you should flat out have Secret Service that does this. I know a guy that was his job for Obama. But the dude that legit did what Mark Wahlberg does in this movie, he's a teacher. He was a high school teacher for me. He disappeared for 3 years. And that's what he did. Every speaking engagement, he figured out how to kill the president.
Just so they could have something to look out for. Because the Secret Service already has something like that.
I think I don't know where he worked. But that was like, this is where I'd kill him from. Put people here. And he did the whole thing. So, like, I get you to ask somebody to do that, but god dang, you wouldn't ask some random guy to do this. You'd be Secret Service.
Like,
I mean,
even if he was like a sniper in the army that was really good, like you wouldn't just show up at his house and randomly ask him to do it. You would he'd have to get vetted.
yeah, he would be hired to do this. You know,
Yeah.
like this movie's weird. I'm like elephant in the room. Yeah, the Trump stuff. It's wild to watch him walk around with all this stuff, and the guy that shot at Trump did the same thing. Like, I don't know. Let's not conspiracy this, but anyways, I do love you meet his dog. His dog hates all them.
Dogs are smart.
They don't spend enough time on it. They killed that dog.
They sure did.
Little Jack Wick. Jack Wick. Holy crap. John Wick.
So, yeah, he goes and he eventually takes the job of going to these different sites. He has to figure out which city it's going to happen in, which is also hilarious to me. Like, and they narrate.
You know what? I love this part of the movie. I'm in for it, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, this is tight. Sick. Yeah, this is cool.
Which I want to know how these conspiracists, how they figure out, like, because they've made the decision they're going to kill the Archbishop, right? And that's going to happen in Philadelphia. That guy wasn't going to show up to any of those other cities. So is that just like a thing to like throw Mark Wahlberg off the scent or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, it's meant to be he's going to go make it look like he's looking for the president spots. The people that set him up know this is the only shot that it could happen. But
yeah, but we need a fall guy, basically.
Yeah. And it's in Philadelphia. It's in Philadelphia, the place where he goes and plays the NFL for. And unbelievable. I just think this is ridiculous. You want to disgrace a football mastermind. Yeah, so also he cuts his hair.
Yeah, for
I appreciated that because he looked like trash.
Well, he was wearing a wig, so.
So gross. Don't do that, dude. Day of, right? Like, hey, we'd love for you to be here. We know this is where it's going to happen. And he hangs out. Dude, I mean, like, the first time I watched this movie, that moment I went, oh, that guy's getting screwed. He's getting screwed. And you get the cop to come up, guns unholstered or
unsnapped.
Unsnapped. Yeah, thank you. And guess what? Somebody shoots the wrong guy, but the Archbishop goes down. They ever talk about why it was him?
The Archbishop guy?
Yeah, is it because they killed all those people in Africa?
It's because the thing in Africa, and he was like calling bullshit on all this. Like, hey, he's going to talk to the president. Like, you need to rein your boys in because they killing people.
Well, don't worry. That Philadelphia cop shoots Mark Wahlberg right away.
Oh yeah.
That like let's go back. Decent movie. That moment, is suspenseful. It's rad, especially the first time you watch it. It's a shock of
wait what's going on?
What's happening? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best to not be like, yeah, I know all this stuff and all the twists, but first time I watched this, I was blown away. I went, what the crap?
Well, I think the first time I watched this was when it came out in 2007.
Yeah. Did you see it in theaters?
No.
You loser. Saw it in theaters. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not a loser. I'm just joking.
But
yeah, he gets popped, dude, though. Marky Mark gets popped. He starts this dumb run. Dude, I love John Wick. So I'm fighting myself with this. The invincible guy, he got shot. He's just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
he's gonna keep going. Yeah. He does run into Mike Pena.
Michael Pena.
Michael. I call him Mike. We're on those terms.
Okay.
That's just Mikhail. He's Jewish now. The dumbest thing I've said all day. Dude, this whole scene's just so crazy. Cuffs him up, takes his keys, takes his car, goes away. End of the day, puts that daggum car in the river. The Delaware, to be clearly.
Oh, look at you.
I think I don't. It's got to be the Delaware, right? There's not another major river.
Whatever river or lake is in Philadelphia. I assume
You know
it's
what
a
they
river.
say, Preston? The river runs through it.
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
Oh, is that a Brad Pitt movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Delaware River, and car sunk. He's onto a tugboat. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which eventually lets him steal a car.
There's a lot of convenient stuff that happens. He steals a truck, buys a syringe, salt, and water stuff, sugar.
Don't forget the sugar, baby. We talk about it the whole movie.
And somehow, this is my problem with the logic in this movie. It's like Michael Pena's character, after he gets taken down, he has a point. He gets taken down by a Marine, and he's an FBI agent. Like,
and he gets a concussion and fresh out of the academy.
Yeah, that's fair.
3 weeks out. Yeah.
And they're like, you're going in front of the board of professional review.
And it's not just a Marine. It's a guy on like the Force Recon Scout unit.
Motherfucker, not, you go up against him.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, dude, you lived. Good job. You're alive.
So that kind of makes you think, okay, is the FBI involved in this too? Like, I feel that was in the script at one point, but then they took it out. I don't know. Because like it seems like
I feel like there's a lot of edits in this that should have been there. Yeah. There are some stuff that's like...
It's like, because his boss is like all up his ass about that, and then he's like... But then he gets put on like a phone line where tips are rolling in, and he figures out that Bob Lee Swagger is the guy that bought that stuff at the store, and he... it's... that's a stretch.
Yeah. There's a... I mean, like... I was happy. I enjoyed this movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah,
I really did. Yeah, like I'm
it's
cool.
A good watch.
There's a lot of stretching out. Yeah. That's not cool.
And then back to the saboteurs or the conspiracists, the conspirators that are framing him. They set his rifle up in that building. No gloves. Yeah. No gloves.
Gloves.
No, that guy that sets up his rifle was not wearing gloves.
Fingertip covers.
Okay.
With it, this is the first time I ever caught it. I paused it and watched it. He's got fingertip covers, which I think are supposed to be his fingerprints.
Okay.
Should have pointed it out. You can't see it. I had to pause it and go, "Oh, he's got a condom on his finger."
Because he sure was handling like that rifle barehanded.
This time I went, what the heck? He didn't have gloves on. And I went, ooh, look at his fingertips.
Okay.
He's got little finger condoms.
So he makes his way all the way to Kentucky.
Yeah. Kentucky.
To Kate Mara's house. Kate Mara's house. Which she has the worst accent. Southern accent.
I didn't hear it.
I've ever heard.
Didn't notice it.
I'm sure you didn't. Yeah. I mean, there's some points I forgot about it too, but
yeah, I didn't at all. It is all it's dreadful. Which I think she gets typecast as a Southern person. She's not good at it.
She's very much not Southern because
she's from New York.
Her dad is like part of the ownership group of the New York Giants, and her mom is the granddaughter of the original owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So she's very much not Southern.
Man, that sucks. I hate hearing that. Okay. What a loser. Never mind.
And also, it's Kentucky. That's not the South. I don't care how much people try to make it the South. It's not.
Where's the South start for you?
It starts below Virginia.
I fully believe the South is maybe this deep South, but Georgia, South Carolina, Florida.
Depends on what part of Florida.
Yeah, that's what I call myself.
To me, it's South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana.
Not Mississippi.
Mississippi, you got to include Mississippi. I mean,
yeah.
I ain't lost nothing in Mississippi, but
Well, that's a confusing last name. They got a confusing state name.
Arkansas.
Arkansas? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I think that's it.
Yeah, Kentucky.
North Carolina, we'll add them in there too. Why not?
Yeah, but no, North Carolina's a bunch of Northerners. Trying to figure out how to hate on them, but I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
he goes there and talks her into stitching him up because you were supposed
just
to be a
make
nurse.
her character a nurse. Like, what is this
Why
bullshit
would
about?
they make that? Yeah, that's so
I dropped out of nursing school and now I'm a 3rd grade teacher. Okay,
I don't like blood. Never has a problem with blood in this movie.
That was down his drain. What the fuck? Anyway,
there's so many stupid decisions this movie makes. That's one of them, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
Just make her character a nurse and get on with it. Like, we don't need this.
Well, you know what? She does a good stitch apparently, and he gets healed up. They keys, and then
kinda.
He's like, I'm gonna find this FBI guy and draw some people out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got to put on the dumbest looking wig. Dude, that.
Now her accent in that scene
good
somehow was pretty good.
Good. I was shocked. I went, oh, okay. What's happening here?
But yeah, they basically set up Nick Memphis to get took by this conspiracy group.
Which I'm gonna tell you straight up, that whole scene when he gets kidnapped and he gets hoisted up and Bob Lee Swagger. The action scenes rule. I was like, this is sick. This is dope.
Takes him out with
22.
With a little 22 rifle.
With a bottle with cork in it or whatever.
Yeah. Don't know how accurate that is, but
decent.
Yeah.
Decent. I've shot a gun before with I've done a boy, I'm gonna get flagged somewhere. I shot someone's gun with a duct taped plastic. It's a decent silencer. It's not bad, but it's one shot. It's one.
Yeah, that's
he shot 4.
That's what it's like in oh shoot, not The Walking Dead. Jesus Christ, The Last of Us. Jesus, The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
You can screw on a little bottle and you got a silencer for like 2 shots.
You talk about zombie stuff. I gotta ask you. 28 years later,
I never saw the first movie, so.
It's the next thing we're doing.
28 days later, is that what it is?
28 days. We need to do it. It's got problems, okay? But it is.
That can be the Halloween one.
Yeah, all right, let's save it. You put yourself in when that movie came out, that made zombies. That was the movie that made our zombies today. And it's beautiful. It's so it's good. Let's save it. Let's do it. We have to do it. I'm such a huge fan. I don't like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like horror necessarily. Like, I just don't, whatever, but it's so good. 28 weeks later, same thing. Anyways, shooter.
So him and Nick Memphis, they're teaming up now.
And we're going to go to Tennessee and talk to a guy named Mr. Rate who loves explosives.
And then he somehow figures out that the guy in the wheelchair is like this famous sniper or what. This is where the movie gets absolutely confusing.
It's through that old guy, Mr. Rate, that's like, there was a guy back in the day that was able to do this, but they cut his legs down so he couldn't do it no more after that.
Annie Nicole married for love.
Who are you again? I can't see you.
I buried them fellas.
I'm a known felon right now.
Yeah. I buried them fellas out near past Sarah Lingwood. I still got the shovel.
I just cut my pants, Martha. I tell you what, dude. That whole scene though, when they go to this compound in Tennessee, awesome. All the explosives. It was a good scene.
Where they make
hard
explosives out of
stupidity of the movie though.
Out of stuff out of like a hardware store and like a hunting goods store. But they end up going from Tennessee all the way to Virginia. And then they practice shooting stuff with their ammo and the few explosives they have. Like, they're just
Somebody
setting off
heard that crap,
explosives
dude.
in like a riverbed, and no one said anything. They figure out this guy's holed up at a house in Virginia, and they have this plan that he's taught Mick Memphis how to be a sniper somewhat in less than 2 days, I guess.
Apparently, my dreams could come true in 2 days. I had no idea.
So they go in and take out these people, and Mark Wahlberg makes it. Yeah, it's a great action scene.
It's great. It's just stupid.
The logic and motivation behind it is just dumb.
I think like John Wick has not come out at this point at all.
Mm-mm.
John Wick is stupid.
Oh, the first movie was supposed to be like straight to DVD.
All of it. All three of them are stupid.
It's silly, but they're great.
But it is the most believable and best thing in the world.
They spent the time, like, the writing is actually better in John Wick, and the world building is way better.
Incredible. This movie wants you to go, look at this action. Everything else sucks.
Which, of Antoine Fuqua's films, this is like less than a lot of his stuff.
Hey, can you watch your language when you talk to me?
Fuqua?
This is the Equalizer guy, right?
This is Equalizer. This is Training Day. This is the Magnificent
Never watched
Seven.
Training Day, by the way.
Oh, you should. It's so great. This is Brooklyn. This is the same guy that did a whole host of things that are way better than this movie.
Bullet Train. He was a producer, I think, on Bullet Train.
Okay.
The Equalizer series. That's some of the best movies I've ever watched.
Second one not so good, but that first one is great.
Have you watched the third?
Mm-hmm.
Hurts my balls, but wait, he did Tears of the Sun too, didn't he? Then
I think so.
Bruce Willis, yeah. I think he did. I don't know. It sucks sometimes doing this with you. It really does. Like these movies that I'm like, this is the best movie ever, and you watch it again, and you go, gee. But that's the premise. That's the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of those movies. I mean, while he's doing his whole deal here, Sarah gets kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Did she get raped?
I think that's implied.
They should have. Oh God, I don't want to say this, but they should have implied that more because that's way too like. What happened? I don't want it implied. Let me be clear. Like, what's going on here?
I think it's very much. It's not that kind of R-rated movie. Like we don't need to add.
R-rated.
Yeah. We don't need to.
2010, we got there.
We don't need to think
about
if this girl got raped or not. We just need to keep on going.
So y'all need to think about it.
They call the FBI. He gets into the house, basically confronts the man in the wheelchair, who we still don't know his name. I mean, I'm sure they give his name, but like I couldn't tell you what it was. Gets a confession out of him saying like, "Hey, there's all these bodies buried under a pipeline that they put."
Sherbike, by the way.
Yeah. And that guy kills himself, but Marky Mark had recorded the whole conversation.
Yep, Mikolo Sherbike.
Okay. Apparently he was a Russian that works for the American government now.
Whoa, okay. Preston, you just think he's Russian because of that? Yeah, he is. But
he's very much Russian. I could tell by the accent.
Also, John Wick. That's the villain in the first movie.
No.
That's not the guy?
Mm-mm. He's the guy that gives Batman gives his coat to in Batman Begins when he runs off on the ship.
Oh, okay. No good. He's Serbian, by the way.
Racist.
Hey, you know what? Life is a race. Your first or your last.
So Mark calls the government and the conspirators and says, "Hey, I got this thing. Bring me that senator to
Preston, can you no. Can you say it right?
Huh?
I got you, girl. You had a good day. Girl, gosh, coming out there. Goodbye.
Donald Glover.
Danny Glover.
Oh, Danny. Oh, Donald Glover's like, this is America. Audio trapping on. Yeah, Danny Glover. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Bring me a senator from Montana.
Yeah, the thing.
I got you, girl. You
Yeah.
want to get out of here, Bob Lee swagger?
I'm like, dude, is Danny Glover supposed to be from New Orleans? Because his accent's kind of.
the Baju.
Don't worry, we're all of a sudden gonna go.
The amount of time how little time it takes to travel to different states in this movie is hilarious.
I did the math. I got crazy. I couldn't sleep the other night. I did the math. It can't happen. Can't happen. It's off by like 320 something %.
Yeah.
No.
Because at one point they're outside of a interstate in Bozeman, Montana. It says that they got in a gunfight in Virginia the night before. That doesn't.
And they don't
happen.
have private jets, bud. They're driving on cars.
And they're driving in an old Chevrolet truck. There's no way they made it to Montana the next day.
At least it ain't a Ford. You have to fix that thing every day. I drive a Honda. Anyways, Honda truck. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
they meet.
hey, yeah, you got your girl. We got your girl, bud. Come over here to this.
It's a great setting for a showdown. It's the icy, snowy
Oh, it's dope. Oh, it's dope.
peak of a mountain.
I absolutely loved the ping pong head explosions of who's Bobley Swagger.
Yeah.
It was great, but this is so stupid. Freaking Pena comes out with that daggone armor, gets shot in the chest, starts walking. No one else shot him again.
Yeah. Go for the head this time. How about that?
Yeah, go for the head, period.
Yeah.
So, shot of the day, all of a sudden, Marky Mark shoots off that dude's hand.
Who had it duct taped to... He had the shotgun duct taped to his hand and duct taped to the girl.
Why?
I don't know. It's so stupid.
I mean, like, I know why you do that, but it's supposed to be a suicide switch where if he dies, she blows up.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so he burns the evidence for some reason. The confession.
Yeah, I get why
this is where the
did.
logic of the story doesn't make sense again.
If we give this to them, somebody else is going to take it.
This
They're
is
just gonna
plutonium.
bury it. We're going
Yeah.
to burn it.
So
Which I guess he understood, like, they have his gun. I can do that. I don't know, dude. I
think this is where they say, like, yeah, we got your gun at the scene or whatever, and that, like, for reasons we learn later is like that's his thing.
You're
is
right.
Like, oh, I can
That's
prove
the
my
first
innocence.
time they said we have your gun at the scene. He doesn't know that until now.
And
Fair.
he knows. Spoiler alert: he switches the firing pins in all his guns before he leaves the house because he's crazy.
Yeah, what a maniac! But hey, we saw it. He did it. We saw it.
He did it. So gets arrested, is in a room with the attorney general and the colonel. Danny Glover's repeatedly trying to get out of the meeting, and he's like, "No, you're going to stay here. We're going to find out the truth." They uncuff a federal prisoner in the middle of a room with the attorney general and the director of the FBI with a gun in front of him, and Michael Pena slips a .50 caliber bullet to Mark Wahlberg
And
in
you
a building.
See it. You see it.
And I'm pretty sure you have to run through a metal detector and searched before you enter a federal building like that. Logic's
this
a little...
movie's awesome. There's no flaw.
So he slips
Logic
that in
fans, you're wrong.
Yeah, slips that in the gun, and him and Michael Pena have an exchange, and he turns on Danny Glover, pulls trigger, doesn't fire. He's like, "Look, I change all my firing pins before I leave the house. Gun don't shoot. I didn't do it." And they believe him.
I have to go ahead and say the thing. Okay, so If he didn't know that fact, they had this gun.
Mm-hmm.
This whole movie could have been done in 20 minutes.
Yep. Because they had all this evidence real quick because they recovered a bullet that he shot at a can of stew and used that as the bullet to prove that it was a match to his gun, but they never did test the gun, which I feel like someone in the chain of evidence would have tested the gun even if they did find a bullet.
They tested the metallurgy of it.
Yeah. They still would have tested by firing it through the gun.
Yeah, that's where I'm like,
we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that because it was a metallurgical match. Well, if I was collecting evidence and was trying to establish a case, pretty sure I'd try to fire it through the weapon.
Yeah. Hey, Rocky and Bullwinkle, I pay your taxes. Test everything.
But like people have said, if you want evidence to disappear, send it through the FBI.
I've never worked with them.
Yeah. So, is that being facetious or?
Yeah. That's, I mean, like that. So he gets that whole sequence blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves. The guy goes, "You're free to go. You're excused." Sometimes guns can't change everything.
You don't have to go back to prison and get processed back out of there. You can just walk out of this boardroom right now.
But don't worry.
We
blow the balls off everybody in that building, and we blow them up good.
Now, that end scene in that cabin, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Which my notes I made said, do this the whole movie.
Yeah.
Why wasn't this the whole movie? Like, don't even do any bull crap. Don't let Mark Wahlberg talk.
Like
this is great. He was rad.
The movie should have been him slowly figuring out who was in charge of the conspiracy and just taking them all out. Like,
yeah, that would have been great. Have you ever heard of? There's a video game called 13.
Mm-hmm.
Had a TV show run. Was supposed to have a movie. You know what? They're not similar at all. But my point being, like, it was a conspiracy thing.
Uh-huh.
They should have done that. You're right. I mean, like you said it just now. That should have been the movie of he's wiping these people out. I don't know.
Instead of trying to solve an FBI case or whatever. But
yeah, it doesn't need a shooter. Doesn't end it. Done. Dumb. 6.
This is about 6.5 for me. It's all right. It's watchable. It's something you can put on in the background and keep up with what's going on.
I loved it. I love watching it. It's great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, realistically, it's a 6 at the minimum. Max.
It's not something I'm going to recommend to somebody.
You know what I can recommend to some people? Spoilers.
Oh, yeah. It's heavy spoilers from here on out.
Deadpool spoilers.
Oh, my God, yes.
So we've already talked some. I don't want to rehash what we've already talked about, but I want to know what's next out of this because are they going to use Deadpool more?
I don't want them to. Like,
I don't either.
As good as his movies are, like, he doesn't need to be like a central figure in the MCU. Cause
let him show up to do the Thor scene in Secret Wars.
Yeah, there's all speculation online. It was like, well, what's the thing with Thor? It's never answered. It's a Deadpool movie. Half this shit is a joke.
That's the whole point. It's the whole point.
Like, people were like analyzing the trailers before it came out. What does he mean by he's Marvel Jesus? It was a joke in the movie.
I loved every prediction all those scumbucket idiots had about the trailers were wrong.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, not in it. Suck it.
Yeah. I hated that. I was like, but they're hanging out so much. People can't be friends. Famous people can't be friends.
There was the girl on site. It's probably Taylor Swift.
No, it was his wife as Lady, like, when they show Lady Deadpool, I was like, okay, that's going to be Blake Lively, and it's just her voice.
Dude, Nathan Fillion as Headpool was great.
I had to have somebody tell me that was him. Couldn't tell you that.
I didn't know it was him. I got a good chuckle. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they had him.
Apparently, Matthew McConaughey was Cowboy Deadpool.
Yeah. And then Wrexham Deadpool
was one of the players.
Paul Mullen. It's great.
That's not even a cameo. Like, he doesn't say anything.
But I urge you to watch that show if you haven't. It's awesome.
Yeah, okay.
It's good. It's good.
Apparently, Rob McElvaney got a cameo cut out of this movie.
And no one knew he got it cut. Apparently, Ryan Reynolds didn't know it got cut either. I mean, like, he played a random TVA person.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it wasn't a big part, but
no.
That's funny.
Dude, what you been up to besides Deadpool?
Let's see. I hadn't watched anything. A lot new hasn't come out. I did buy what I'm gonna watch the Fall Guy tonight because I bought that for $10 this week because it was on sale.
Yeah, let me know how that is, dude. I want to watch it.
I also bought Furiosa.
Still haven't seen it.
Probably tomorrow night, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes comes on Hulu Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm going to slowly melt my brain by watching the extended version of the Rebel Moon stuff just because I have morbid curiosity and I want to see it.
Yeah. Hey, you do that for me. I'm not doing it. No way.
I'm going to just let my brain melt and I'll probably end up turning it off at some point, but I just have to know, like, what did you do to this? Like, there's no way you can improve this.
It's just in 4:3.
Oh yeah, it's just like I'm gonna put it in a true IMAX ratio. Okay,
Mark the Richter thing is 4:3.
While that is like the true IMAX ratio, like this is being released on a streaming service in people's homes. And no one has the IMAX ratio in their house.
Wait, you're telling me you people don't have IMAX screening capabilities in your house?
It's like,
oh, I guess I'm a millionaire.
I mean, it's a bold. Like, I understand what you were going for, like the tall instead of the wide aspect ratio because of comic books or whatever. But you're releasing it in people's homes. That's hilarious to me. But that's what I'm going to watch, basically. I haven't watched anything new.
I started watching a show on HBO called Hacks.
Okay.
It's about a lady that does stand-up comedy who's washed out, who has a residency in Las Vegas.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I was skeptical. It's not bad. I enjoy it. It's good. On that, I mean, that's really probably it, man. Just I've been cranking at work, knowing I'm off, the rest of the week. So, nothing. Actually, I've been watching this another anime I've been watching called The Tower of God, which is an incredible. This is a weird time of the year. Like all the animes are kind of ending, and it sucks because it's going to be a year or two.
Netflix is coming out with a Terminator anime.
I saw it right before this, and I was like, "Oh, this looks good. Don't want to watch anymore." All right, great.
Like, I'm not a big anime guy, but I'll watch anything with Terminator in it.
Dude, I'm gonna find an anime for you one day. I'm gonna do the algorithm, and you're gonna poop your pants and never watch another one.
I enjoyed the first couple episodes of. Not the Cowboy Bebop live action, but the anime. Like, I was like, oh, this isn't like a weird demon fighting something else. Like, this is actually entertaining.
Yeah, it only gets better. But
yeah,
we don't got plans for next week, do we?
I figured we was gonna start the Tom Cruise thing that I suggested, unless you're off. Out.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay. I think Oblivion was the first one to get released, so I think we'll start with that.
I'm down, dude. M83, baby. All day.
I like that movie.
One of my favorite. Yeah. M83. Score.
Wait till we get to that Mummy movie he did. Good Lord.
Oh, God, no. I've seen it. I don't want...
It's a stinker.
I'm excited to see it again.
It's a stinker. So I guess that's it for this week.
Yeah.
If you have a suggestion for something we should do, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Second Take Movies. Follow us, subscribe to the YouTube, comment over there.
Give us suggestions of what to do. Seriously,
Yeah.
you give us suggestions, we'll do it. I know we've got one to do Airheads.
We've had one email.
Yeah, we got one to do Airheads, and I think we'll do it. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, Tom Cruise next week. Oblivion.
Yeah, gotcha. Woo!
Jake, do you have any closing words for us?
Look,
where's the wisdom to go off with?
Yeah, look, if you fall and you hurt your tailbone, go to the doctor. It's important. Those injuries don't heal quick. You'll squirm in your chair. Mm-hmm. You won't sleep great. You'll cry. I haven't crapped my pants, so I'm not going to say that, but I'm just saying, do your due diligence. That's all.
Do your due diligence. And we'll see you next week with Oblivion.